What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another shoe review. I see we've got some new faces in the crowd, so welcome to the channel. For those that are new, my name is Trevor Hines. I'm a former Division I runner at the University of Texas. I'm a coach, and I'm a shoe expert. The whole point of my channel is to give you honest, simple, and to-the-point reviews of the latest and greatest running shoes, and I'm trying to do it in the most unbiased way I can. So with that, I want to introduce you guys to the On Cloudflow 5. Now, this is a versatile trainer that you can use for intervals on the track, some speed work. But what I like is that you can also use this in your next upcoming hybrid or Hyrox event where you're involving lifting and running. This is a great shoe for someone that wants something they can use in the gym, yet take it out on a run. So we'll go over the specs, the details, how it fits and feels, all of that in the video. But before we get into that, of course, if you guys enjoy the content, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. If you want to see certain shoe reviews, if you guys have any comments or anything like that, you guys drop them down below as well. But with all of that, let's get into the video on the On Cloudflow 5. All right, so as we do in most of our videos, I want to do an overview of the shoe and who it's built for before we get into the detailed specs later on. This is a shoe that is for that athlete that needs the agility, the versatility, and the speed all built into one. Whether you're doing intervals, speed work, fartleks, any sort of track session where you're on your toes and you need a little more bounce in your step, this is a great option as a running shoe, of course. But to me, this really shines when you want that shoe that you'll be able to run in as well as lift in. I mentioned Hyrox and hybrid athletes earlier. This is for those people where running is just one portion of the puzzle. You know, a minimalistic style, something that's going to give you a good enough cushion that you'll feel good on your run, yet when you get in the weight room, you have the stability and the neutral feeling in the shoe that you can do your leg workouts, you can do upper body, you can do all of that and still feel nice and secure in the shoe. So getting into the fit and the feel of the shoe, when I first threw it on, I liked the fit of the shoe. I love that On has these different eyelets that you can use to basically customize how the shoe fits. Everybody's foot's gonna be different. Some people have high instep, some are low, some want it really nice and tight, some like it loose. All those things should be able to be kind of customized to that person's foot. So having the ability to lace it up differently, to me, is a huge win in On's book. And I feel like all these other brands should definitely adopt something similar to this approach. Our toe box is in the middle of wide versus narrow. If you've got a really wide foot, I would be wary for sure of just making sure that you've got enough room up front. To me, when I first started running in it with it, it felt very smooth. Like when I was doing my track workouts, I felt efficient. I felt like the transition from slow to fast was very nice on the foot. I did feel a little bit of a rub going on in my Achilles area. Not enough to where it stopped me or, you know, caused any blisters or anything like that, but it was something to definitely keep in mind. In terms of cushion, of course, it's on the firmer side. It is lightweight and it's agile, which is nice. In the case of like, if you want this as a daily trainer, just keep in mind that it's not gonna be as soft as some of those others out there. So if like you're looking for that max cushion shoe, I would not look at this one. But if you want that hybrid shoe that you can use in the gym as well as on the track, then like I said, this is a great option for you. Getting into the looks of the shoe, I love the color scheme. I know it's a little on the brighter side for some, but to me, if I'm running in a shoe, I like the flashy, I like the bright. I like the neutral as well, but I would always pick something like with this cool design. It's got a low profile to it, so it's going to be able to look sleek if you were to want to wear it out and about, yet as you take it on your runs, you feel good in the shoe. Okay, now let's get into some of the details and the specs of the shoe. So coming in at 8.1 ounces on the women's side or 9.8 ounces on the men's side. As I mentioned, it's not the lightest shoe, but it's not gonna weigh you down. We've got 36 millimeters of height in the back, 28 millimeters in the front. So you're getting about an 8 millimeter heel to toe drop. Our price point, of course, is coming in at a hefty 180, and it is comparable to other shoes like the New Balance Rebel, the Saucony Endorphin Speed 5, and the Asics Nova Blast. It is going to be on the firmer side compared to those shoes. It is very responsive and does give that springy feel that you want. In my opinion, when you've got shoes like the Rebel and the Nova Blast that sit in that 140 to 150 range, why would you not go with those shoes? However, those to me aren't going to be as good in the gym than if you were to try this one out. So now that we've gone through the specs of the shoe, let's get into some of those more technical details, starting with that engineered woven mesh upper. My running friends and I have noticed with that upper, it is not as breathable as some of the other options on the market. I did notice some hot spots while I was running in the shoe, and nothing major, but enough that it was noticeable, and I wanted to bring it to y'all's attention. Looking at the upper, like I said, with that customizable fit, I love what they're doing with those extra eyelets, and I think every shoe should have those. So you do have the way of cinching it down to give you the security that you want, yet it can also be loosened up so that if you wanted more of a loose fit when you're in the gym, you can still have that. Looking at the base of the shoe, we still have our nylon glass fiber combination in that speed board. And with that, you always run the risk of it squeaking on you. So keep that in mind. I think On has done a good job of trying to alleviate some of that noise that comes from it, but it's always a possibility that it may come back. It's going to have a great amount of rubber on the base in that heel and that forefoot with the toe off. So you get the grip that you want out of the shoe, enough to where when you're doing your speed work, it feels nice. And that's where I kind of get into now the Helion HF Superfoam on the base of the shoe in that light blue. That's really where you're getting your rebound and your energy return out of the shoe. And the Cloud Tech and the Helion on the base of the shoe is where you get your stability and your durability. So to get into our recap of the shoe, as I mentioned 100 times before, if you're an athlete that likes to run and lift as well and wants a shoe that can do all of that for you, this is a fantastic option. I will go back to some of those cons in that breathability and the speed board and maybe that ankle area as points of concern when you're trying on the shoe yourself. But to highlight some of the pros, that customizable fit, I think every brand should have that built into their shoes. It doesn't affect any sort of feel on the shoe, yet gives you the ability to make it exactly how your foot would like it. So pros and cons, it's a good shoe overall. It's something I would use in the gym when I'm lifting, if I'm doing squats or lunges or any leg work or upper body, or if I'm doing a combination of lifting and running. However, with that being said, I probably would use other shoes like the Endorphin Speed or the Rebel or the Nova Blast if I'm looking to do a track workout. If you guys enjoy the content, always make sure to hit that like and subscribe because it goes a long way. And I thank you guys. If you have shoes you want to see, if you have any advice or criticisms of the videos or anything like that, if you want to criticize the shoe or praise the shoe, let me know in the comments down below. And with that, this is a full recap on the On Cloudflow 5, and I will see you guys in the next video.